How would you feel if you were gonna die tomorrow? Would you regret it? I'm gonna challenge you on that. What can you commit to? Does that make sense what I'm saying here?
I want you to steal my high value phrases. Have you ever met somebody that's the strong or silent type? Well, they understand something that you do not. What they do is they use short value phrases to make a high impact on people's minds. It's not what you say, but how you say in a short period of time. Now, I go into this in detail in my conversation mentoring group. So this is a group where I work with people on exactly how to communicate their language from over-explaining into short phrases that make an impact on people that they're communicating with in their meeting. I'll put a link for it right here. It's a no-brainer sign up. Right now, we have a 30-minute free call available with me and my team. We can figure out what you're doing wrong in your conversations and then adjust that so that you can have better interactions with people, learn to talk forever, learn to express yourself, and never run out of things to say. And it's a beautiful thing once you get able to do that, all right? So check the link down below for that. And without further ado, let's get into a video from that conversation mentoring program. This is just a small sample to give you an idea about what's possible in your own communication in your life.
So first of all, I want to kind of give you an idea, and the idea is DISC, okay, D-I-S-C. And that is a model of how people communicate. But the gist of it is, one of them is very dominant, straight to the facts, don't influence me, just give me the facts, I'll make a decision. The other person likes a lot of information. They want to know about the details, when exactly something's going to happen, when it's not going to happen. They want to know, make sure it's like exactly everything is correct. They care about the details. That gives them comfort and confidence. Some people need just pure comfort, just pure emotion. How does it feel? What's the rush of it? And I might pop it up on the screen here. You can take a quick look at it. The DISC model, that's what is a way that you can relate to people. It's very different than Myers-Briggs. Myers-Briggs is like how people sort of like what their needs are or the personality types are. This is like DISC. This is like how you communicate with them, what they register with them. So in this list of high value communication tools I'm going to give you, all these phrases relate to different people in this list. You can see who they relate to with a little bit more. The majority of these are going to be towards the D's because high value people tend to have a little bit more D inside of them. No pun intended. And that means they're more dominant in the way they think, the way they assert themselves, type A personality. So the majority of these are going to be leaning towards that. However, there's some that are very comfort focused and about, you know, the emotion and the story of the person. That's also important for more introverted people that you're dealing with. The first phrase is, I'm going to challenge you on that. I'm going to challenge you on that. I'm going to challenge you on that. That's coming from a positive place. That means you want the person to benefit from what you're saying. You want them to be better from what you're saying. You want to improve and raise the vibration of the whole conversation from what you're saying. I'm going to challenge you on that. Yeah. So it's like, you think you're watching the video? I'm going to challenge you on that. Maybe I'm just being natural. You're watching that live, right? I'm going to challenge you on that. Very powerful. This can flip a conversation and allow you to bring up points that are usually maybe missed or looked over. I'm going to challenge you on that. Okay. And it's meant to be for the good of the conversation. Next one. Let's look at the facts. All right. Hold on a second. Let's look at the facts. Okay. So let's get back to center. Let's focus on something. Let's look at the facts. This is something that you might see Joe Rogan do a lot with Alex Jones. And Alex is like telling these crazy stories. Joe Rogan's like, all right, hold on. Let's look at the facts. What did you say there? Let's verify that. Jamie, pull it up. Because some people get into stories that they get from information. They take information, make up stories, make up meanings, and go, wait, let's get back to the facts. I care about how you feel, but the facts are important because the facts can't be disputed. You might have seen in the media, the media, Trump is always saying the media is telling fake facts. It's like, whoa, what are the facts? Because facts are facts. They can't be, alternate. There's facts and there's other facts, but they're all still facts. Next one. Does that make sense? I teach this a lot, or I say this a lot when I'm teaching. I say, does that make sense to you? Does that make sense what I'm saying here? I'm doing it for two reasons. I'm trying to pace the information I'm giving out. Make sure you're not like overwhelmed by how much information I'm giving you. So I'll say, hey, does that make sense to you? I want to make sure it's digesting. You're actually able to process what I'm saying. If I'm saying too much and you can't get it all, I'm like, hey, does that make sense? Don't slow down. I want to check to see if you're understanding and processing. Also, does that make sense? As I mentioned, it allows me to pace the conversation and kind of set the rhythm of how fast we're talking here, how fast things are getting out. It puts me in control of the speed and flow of the conversation. So it allows you to check in and control the speed, the pacing of the conversation. Great one to use. What can you commit to? There's another one. What can you commit to? Very often when you're talking to people, you'll sort of put your own commitments on them. Like, hey, I'm available Friday. Let's get together. And they say, I'll let you know. Or you say to somebody, hey, I want to do this project. What's the budget for it? And they say, we're not sure. Like, great, well, let's get it done. They're not actually committing to it. You might have gotten this program and there was a guy on the phone, one of my coaches, he might have said to you, hey, are you ready, committed? Because he wants to make sure that you're committed before you move forward. If you move forward in a life situation where people are not committed, you're essentially wasting your time because you're taking action they're not ready for. So you got to make sure, are they committed? Ask them, literally, what can you commit to? What can you commit to? What can you commit to? Because they will tell you, and then they're honored, usually, not always, but they're usually honored to what they said. Next one, let's focus on what we can change. This is where people get focused on things that are problems that are not working out. But if you kind of ring it back in and say, let's focus on what we can change. So you got a win-win going there. It's you're winning, they're winning. It's like, let's focus on what we can change. It's also not blaming, right? Oh, you did this. I don't like how you did that. Okay, let's focus on what we can change. Collaborative. It's not blaming. It's not crushing. It's not ego in this. It's just very high vibration. The win for others, then the win for you. So this is not something you say, it's something you think about. Think about how do you make them win? How do you make their job a little easier? And then the win for you. So if you're trying to network with somebody, trying to negotiate with somebody, trying to, maybe not negotiation, but trying to start a relationship, you say, hey, what are you going on with right now? What's going on with you? Where are you at? Okay, how can I help you with this? And then we'll get to my thing a little bit later. Like your goal is first to enhance what they're doing and the quality of their life, their situation, before you focus on you. Now that could be taken the wrong way. You can be kicked in the butt for that. You can be taken advantage of. So you're doing it with the right person, right? Someone who's able to commit first, not doing it with anybody. But yeah, the win for others, then the win for you. Next one is, I'd like to host, quote unquote, you'll be well taken care of. This is something that I've heard for many, many years, mostly with people that throw parties. Nick Coe, for example, used to say, I'm hosting this event at I'm hosting a party. Now, he wasn't hosting the whole party at the mansion. He wasn't hosting the whole thing, but he was hosting the people that he knew. So let's say that somebody's having a party with 400 people and you bring 15 people. You're hosting them. I'm hosting the party. Yeah, I'm one of the hosts. You don't say I'm one of the hosts, but I'm hosting the party, right? You're hosting them. People like to be hosted. It's a higher level of being taken care of. It's a higher level of service. It's a higher level of intention that you're setting there. So yeah, I'm hosting a dinner party. I'm going to be hosting you at this event. I'm going to be well taken care of. Very often in my life, I've had, my dating life, I've been fortunate to have people from other countries fly in to meet me. Now, why would somebody fly in to meet me that I don't know very well? Why say, don't worry, you'll be well taken care of. If you don't want to stay at the same place, we can stay in different places. And, I know you're making an effort to fly in. So, don't worry about stuff while you're here for the weekend. You'll be well taken care of. People enjoy that. They're being escorted into a club. They love to be hearing that. They love to be well taken care of. You can, I'd say, persuade a lot of people to do things they're scared to do if you say, I'd like to host you and you'll be well taken care of. And next one is, how would you feel if you were to die tomorrow? Would you regret it? This is more for yourself, right? If you were to die tomorrow, or you ask somebody else, how would you feel if you were gonna die tomorrow? Would you regret it? Like, if we didn't meet up, how would you feel about that if you were to die tomorrow? If we didn't get this done, how would you feel about it? If you didn't pursue your absolute highest goal, your highest self, how would you feel about that? If you died tomorrow, you're sitting in a rocking chair and you're 8 years old, would you regret not taking action? If you wake up tomorrow and you're kicking yourself in the butt for not seizing this moment in front of you right now, how would you feel? Right? Just bringing that to somebody's attention can be very, very powerful. And a lot of high value people use that as part of their mission. They say, our goal of our company is to change the world, because I knew that if we didn't do this, if I didn't put a pair of shoes on, cheaply made shoes on everybody in the world, I'd feel like we didn't do our part. If we didn't build these dams to support the nature and wildlife, I'd wake up and knowing that we failed society, right? How would you feel if you did not do this? If you died tomorrow, how would you regret it? So go through this list of ones that I mentioned today. I know you've written them down. Go through the list. If you have not written them down, go back. This video is like a 10 on 10, man. This video is like 10 on 10. This is a game changer. This video alone could change the way you interact with people dramatically. This is where the bang for the buck comes. This is where the money comes from, right? So make a list of the ones that I mentioned and go back to the conversation that you've chosen that you need to interact with this week that's going to happen or that's happened lately. Think of this interaction that you want to change And what are the phrases that you can use here to dramatically impact it? If you give me 60 seconds of your attention, I promise that I'm going to change your life. Most of us have a secret that we are a bit ashamed of. If we walk up to somebody new, we're going to feel anxiety, maybe offend them, say the wrong thing, just look stupid. We're unable to give a presentation at work or attract an intimate partner, and we feel stifled because our life is stuck in first gear, pathetic and not moving forward. I personally was a social idiot growing up. No friends, introverted, no romance, no cool invitations, not sure what I was doing wrong. I became obsessed with the dating community, music industry, and fashion world, and I learned the invisible rules and phrases that unlock high status access behind velvet ropes all around the world. That's why I created this exclusive mastermind, a collective group that I wish existed when I wanted to take my conversation to God-level verbal skills.
What's better, black chocolate or white chocolate?
The group is intimate, and I do that to keep my ability to create transformations very high. By the end, you'll be able to strike up a conversation out of thin air, have the confidence in any social situation, and be excited for all the new life-changing opportunities that appear in front of you.
I can possibly give you a million reasons of what I've learned. I was getting too much into my head, telling myself that I was this and that when I'm not. You guys are awesome, and you guys have listened to me.
First, I know it was like pretty rough talking about it because I was afraid of what they'd think of me. The best thing I learned this week was just the value of having authentic conversations and not hiding your true self, being vulnerable and talking about your actual interests.
I can actually find topics to talk about and be interesting while I'm talking about these topics. Taking this challenge, I just didn't care what people think about the topics I like and just make it interesting.
Thanks to Madison, it's been a really awesome experience, and I feel like just from this whole experience, I've learned how to just embrace myself and kind of just allow myself to be me. That, you know, all the fears that I've had were literally just in my head. It's been really awesome, really fun.
Become Neo in the Matrix and just bend social interactions to your will. This is 8 weeks of me in your life, guiding you by the hand, my friend. Conversation mentoring is not for people that are committed to being stuck and mediocre. Don't miss out on a clear headspace. No more should I or shouldn't I in your mind. The future mother of your children, the dream job, bringing the family back together. All that is one conversation away. Click the link. When's a good time like now to start living your life again? Right now. This is your call to become a master of conversation. So click the link, speak to me and my team, and take ownership of your life.